Hello friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video we are going to create a child class that will inherit all the properties of the parent class. So basically we are going to cover the concept of inheritance, which is the main pillar of object oriented programming. So in that what we do, there is generally a child class and parent class, and the child class inherit all the properties from the parent class. So I will provide the link in the description in which I have covered all the theory concepts and the practical implementation of inheritance of object oriented programming in Python. You can watch that video also. So let's create one class here. Let's say name of my class is vaccine. So here we know how to create a class. We just need to provide the keyword class and then the name of the class. Let's say name of the class is vaccine. So let's provide the name of class as vaccine here, and inside that class let's provide one variable. So let's give the name of a variable as name, so name, and in this name I will provide the value as vaccine, and after that we will create one method here. Let's create one method. So we know how to create a method using the def keyword, which stands for define, and here we will say, let's have the name of the method as display or show. Let's provide show, and self is the by default first parameter that we get for any method in Python inside the class. And let's provide a print message, print inside vaccine class. So this is the class vaccine and we are providing this method inside the vaccine class. So let's come out of this class now. After that we will create another class. Let's say Covishield is the class, Covishield, and this class will extend the properties from the parent class. So we know how to provide the child class and parent class. So if this is the child class, inside these brackets we need to provide the name of the class which will act as a parent class. So let's provide the name of this class, which is the vaccine class. So what it will do now, all the properties of the vaccine class will also be applicable to this Covishield class now. And here what I will do, I will just provide one variable, let's say gap, and let's say 3 months. If let's say this is the value for the gap variable, which stands for the, if the vaccine is provided then the minimum gap between the two vaccines should be how much. So it is 3 now. And after that I will provide another method here, let's say def, and let's name the method as show1, and in this I will print the message inside Covishield class. Let me copy paste this statement, and here we will say inside Covishield class. Now we have created the two classes in which Covishield is our child class and vaccine is our parent class. After that what we will do, we will create the object of this child class. So how to create the object? You just need to provide the name of class, name of object. So you can provide any name. I will say here obj, and after that you need to provide the name of class, which is Covishield, because we want to create the object of Covishield class. Now as we have created the object of Covishield class, we will be able to access these two variables. Like the first variable is gap and another one is the method, which is show1. Now if I show you here, let's try to print obj dot, and you can see here the gap is available, okay, the variable that we have provided. After that you can also see, if I try to print obj dot, here the name is also available. So name we haven't defined inside the Covishield class. As you can see, there is no variable called name inside this class, but we are inheriting the properties of the parent class. So in the parent class the name is available. So that's why for this object which is of Covishield type, still we are getting here the name variable. So let's save this and run now. So if I try to run this code, see what output we are getting. So first variable, which is gap, which has the value 3, we are getting that. And after that, with the help of object of Covishield, we are able to access the name variable which is inside the vaccine class, and we are getting here the value vaccine because we have set that particular variable to vaccine here. Now we have accessed the two variables which was inside the child class and the parent class. Now what we will do, we will try to access the methods here. Now we have created the object of Covishield class, then try to access the method which is inside the Covishield. So as you can see, show1 is inside the Covishield class. Here you can see the method show1. After that, you are also able to access from the object of child class the parent class. So here the parent class was vaccine, and as you can see, the show method is also accessible, which is not inside this Covishield class, which is inside the vaccine class, but vaccine class is our parent class, and we have marked is at a parent class here, and we are inheriting the properties of all the parent class inside the child class. Now let's run this code. So see, here we are getting all the messages. The first one was the gap variable and name variable that we have already seen. We are getting those values. After that, we are printing the show1 which is inside Covishield class, and then show which is inside vaccine class. The main thing here to remember is object is the object of child class here. Still we are able to access the show which is inside the parent class. Now what if I have the same method names here? As you can see in the parent class it is show, and also if I rename it to show now here, show, which is also in the child class, but the implementation is different. Means here the message is inside vaccine class, and here the message is inside the Covishield class. Now we don't have a show1 method, so let's remove this statement here. Now we have only a show method which is available in parent class and also in the child class, but here the object is of child class and we are trying to access the method show. Then what will be the output here? Whether it will print the message inside vaccine class or inside Covishield class. Let's try to find out that. Run the code. See what is the output here. It says inside Covishield class. It is printing the message which is inside the child class because the object is of child class. So that's why it is printing the message of child class, means the method which is available inside that particular class. It's not printing the message of parent class. If you try to create the object of parent class and try to call the show method, then it will print the message of parent class. Let me show you that also. If I say parent object, any name you can provide, and after that you will say vaccine. So this is my parent class, and if I try to access from parent object dot show, then in that case it will print the message inside vaccine class. So see, here we are getting the message inside vaccine class. So in this way you can inherit the properties of the parent class inside the child class. Now what we will do, we will directly empty this particular child class and we will inherit all the properties which are available inside the parent class directly. Now we don't have anything. Suppose we don't have anything inside the child class, and we know how to declare an empty class. You just need to provide the pass statement. If you haven't watched the previous video of creating a class without any variables and methods, you can watch that for the details. I will provide the link in the description. So let's create the empty class, that is our child class, and after that let me remove all this part here. We will just create the object of parent child class, and what we will do here, inside this we will create one constructor. Let's create a constructor here. How to create a constructor? Using the init method, which is the by default method here for the constructors in Python, and here the self is the first parameter which is by default, which is used to access the or initialize the variables inside the constructor. Now let's provide some variable names here. Let's say name is one, name, and then price. These are two variables that we need to pass to the constructor, and after that we will set the values to this variable. So how to set it? With the help of self keyword, self dot name is equal to name. So what does this means? Means this is the name which is available inside this class, and whatever the value of name we will get here, it is stored inside this variable, and this will be assigned to this name variable. So self dot name, after that self dot price, and here we will say price. Now we have initialized the two variables, and now while creating the object you need to pass these two variables, as we have declared the constructor and the constructor requires two parameters, so we need to pass these two parameters here. So once you create the object of this child class, you need to pass these two variables here, because the parent class is requiring two parameters. So let's pass, first one was the name, so let's pass the name as Covishield, and second one was the price, so let's pass it, let's say 900. And here what we will do, we will print the message print. Now we have created the object of child class, and inside the child class we don't have anything, but we are inheriting the properties of parent class. So let's print here, let's say name, and then we will print here name object obj dot, then we are able to access the name here, which is inside the vaccine class name. And in similar way we can also print the price also, price, and then obj dot price. And if I try to run this code now, let's see what output we are getting. So see, we are getting name, Covishield, and price 900, because these are the two values that we passed for this particular object. If I try to create another object here, let's say object 1, and in the same way we can create the object, and this time I pass the different values. Let's say Covishield is 1, and another vaccine that we want to name here is Covaxin, and let's say price is 500. And in similar fashion you can print it. Let's copy this statement here and paste it here, and this time we will access it with the help of object 1, because that is the name we have provided here, object 1. Let's save this and run now. So see, for the first object which is having the values Covishield and 900, and the second object which is having the values Covaxin and price as 500. So here what we have created, we have one parent class, and with the help of that parent class we can create the object of child class, and we can have n number of objects for that particular class, and we can access all the properties of the parent class with the help of child class object. So that's it in this video. We will cover another topics of object oriented programming in next video. Thank you for watching.